Good morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Thank you for joining. Today is Sunday, August 9, 2026. This is the beginning of session 371. 6:06 in the morning here. I don't know what time it is wherever you are, but hey, it's just another beautiful day. Another day in paradise, they say. This session, let me just make sure I have all the windows taken care of. The session is part of the free wireless LAN professionals Wi-Fi design class. We're getting to the end of the of learning how to use Hamina Wireless to do Wi-Fi design. Later, we're going to be doing Tesos systems. We're going to be learning also how to do WLANPros. We're going to do some Ekahau as well. Just learning about how to design Wi-Fi networks with different tools available out there in the industry. This is what you do for a living. Yeah, you have to know all the tools. It's just that it's difficult to sometimes get training or get the tools. And then even when you have the tool and you get training, there are just so many things that it's hard to know everything, and we learn every day. Thankfully, there are guys out there that have dedicated time to create tools and to help us with stuff. And actually, it's impressive. I learned so much this week because like this website that we have on the screen, is it my screen on your screen? It's outstanding what this guy, Robin, has done. It's a guy from Belgium, has created a library of stuff that we can add to our designs in Hamina. That's the site right there. Let me just paste it on the chat again, just in case people are joining the sessions and they haven't seen this before. Just bring this window to this side of the window and paste this over here. And we learned yesterday that by copying all this code, and we can also paste it to Shetol's website. Here's another guy that has done great things for the community. And we earlier this week learned how to import an Ekahau.esx file into open intent format, and then going into Hamina and importing that open intent file. So basically, we brought in an Ekahau file and opened it in Hamina. That's pretty cool. So those are things that we find out there. It's shared with the community. Let me also paste this in the chat so that it remains as part of this. There we go. As part of this recording, we'll have both websites there. Remember, all of the recordings in here are saved and uploaded to the Wi-Fi of things.com. Everything is there, so you can just go back and study or share these videos with somebody in the community that may benefit from it. All right, we have come to the point now where we're going to be designing a hockey stadium today. Stadiums are challenging. Stadiums are environments that basically combine many difficult parts of design. One of the biggest ones, and that has been forever a problem when it comes to design, is the adding of sloped areas. See, let's see if I have the University of Utah here. Just zoom in. University of Utah is in this area over here. Come on. So doing stadiums is a challenging environment. And it's not the same when you are designing an office that is just flat and has short heights, and you have ceilings and you have columns where you can place your access points, as we did in here. It's just more of a control environment. Even this is a warehouse that has really high ceilings, but at least you have ceilings. In a stadium, there are no ceilings. well, there are ceilings in some of the areas out there, the suites. But other than that, it's just, oh, look at that nice sunset. So there are like really high areas, high traffic where people are going to be going into those spaces. They're going to be areas where people are going to be checking the tickets and checking in for the game, for the event. And then once inside, there are just so many people sitting shoulder to shoulder, and you're going to have to design for all that stuff. In this case, every single one of those white dots you see there, those are boxes that have access points inside. Yeah, this place got like 1,000 access points. Of course, we're not going to be designing this. I cannot share the floor plans of this stadium with you, but I have already shared with you the floor plan for a hockey arena, which is kind of like the same thing. We're going to be using all these principles, but at a smaller scale. Once you know how to do it, it's just a matter of sitting down and putting a lot of time into getting all of the details as part of the design. Stadiums. Once we have covered all of these subjects, all of these different buttons that we can use in design over here in Hamina, Stadiums just basically combines them all. But the slabs that we created, the stairs, so here's my new test project. This is the project we've been playing with in several sessions. Once you go into 3D, stadiums are nothing but a combination of these inclined, sloped areas, raised floors, and more raised floors. They're just going to be in large open spaces. So it's not going to be like the floor in here, the ceiling in there. It's going to be slightly different. So let me create a new project. Let's call this Arena. United States. Let's see if there is a shopping stadium arena. Here we go. I'm going to choose that area. With that, we're going to give AI some idea of what type of environment is it that we're going to be designing for. Let me create that. I'm going to add a floor plan of the ones I gave you. Here's the hockey arena. That's it. We move to 3D. Probably there's not going to be much to start with. Let's see how much of the prediction will the AI do with this stuff. But our goal is to end up with, let's see, with something like this, okay? An arena with access points and the suites out there with the big windows. And if I say do not show me any coverage or anything, this will allow us to see, to get a closer look of what we're going to be doing, okay? So, fear not, the size of this project is everything we've learned this week, but I will show you some basic concepts. Not that we're going to go and do every little bit of it, and then it's up to you to use the tool. You have a license, you have the floor plan, and now we're going to get some of the experience on designing some stuff. We go back to the one we just created called Arena. It has nothing but a floor plan in there. I don't think AI has imported anything. Well, looks like it figured out some of the short walls on the edges of it. That's probably not going to be much help. So yes, as good as it is, not like it's going to come and do the entire design for you. We will have to do it manually. First thing we're going to do is the scale. This one says, remember, this wiggly line in here means that the scale is kind of guessed or guesstimated or estimated by the artificial intelligence. we're going to have to figure out. One of you look up what's the size of this rink in here, the skate rink. So it looks like Neil needs a license. Okay, let me share the license with you. Anybody else that needs a license? Can you guys talk, or are you just limited to writing?
Yeah, I would need license as well. Yeah.
All
Thanks.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no cameras, no mics. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, let me see. Last one isn't working. How come it's not working, Chris?
I don't know. I try to establish new account in Hamina, and they said me, sorry, no.
What regulatory domain are you using? Are you in
UK.
Did you choose Europe or did you choose US?
UK, Europe.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yes, I need to choose
license,
US.
the license I gave you is a US license.
Okay, no problem. I check it today. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And that happens a lot because, because of the GDPR or GDRP, what is it? GDPR?
Yeah, GDPR. Yeah, it's GDPR.
GDPR. Then there has to be two regions. So yeah, go ahead. If you log out and log back in and choose the US region, that key code should work just fine.
Okay, thank you. I will try.
Give it a try, yeah. And then Neil, real stupidity, yeah. Artificial intelligence. Yeah, I guess real stupidity works. Let me get your license, Neil, here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, Ferney, so I couldn't attend the early sessions. Is there a way we can get the recording, or if you have them available?
What was that?
So yeah, so I missed attending the previous sessions. Is there a way to get the recordings if available, or?
How did you get this link?
Yeah, so I think
What's your
I
name?
got an email, right? I got an email.
Because your name is user shows on the screen. Did you have a name?
Yeah. So I think, so on the Zoom, it didn't ask me to put in, right? So it just logged in.
Yeah. If you receive this link, basically, I try to put in on every email, but everything is uploaded to the Wi-Fi of things.com.
Okay. Yeah. I'll check what there. I'll check.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get a license key for Neil. Copy license key. Okay, so Neil. All right, Neil, I'll just pasted a license in the chat for you. Let me get this out of the way. Let me share my screen again. And then in here, once you go into Hamina, remember you have to go into the US version. When you first log in, it's going to ask you, is it Europe or is it US? Click US or else your license key is not going to work. Go to the subscription button here under your account, subscriptions. And then in there, just click the use license key. Then paste that license key I gave you. So long number, paste it in there and activate it. And then it's going to give you a Floor Planner Plus for you to use. Okay, let me close this. Let's come back to this. So Guillermo, you pasted that the stadium is 6 meters with 85. So 200 by 85. I assume it's from here, there, or I wonder if it's from goal line to goal line. Did you find out?
If I choose,
like end to end, like here to
yes,
here?
Correct,
Okay.
sir.
So first thing we're going to do is give this thing a scale. If we measure from here, there, that says it's 84 meters. You want to change from meters to feet. It says it's about 278 according to this scale. So let's correct that one and let's tell it it's not 278, it's 200 feet. And set the scale. So if that is true, then according to what Guillermo found out, from here, it should be 85, correct? Oh, look at that. It's like 85 points. So yeah, sounds about right then. Okay, now we have the scale. Now, where do we start? Well, if we go to walls and switch to 3D, notice that it just kind of added and guessed and estimated that those are the only walls we can detect on this floor plan. So let me go back to 2D. We could just accept those, or let's just, it's not even worry about it. Well, let's just leave them there. Why not? Let's just say auto draw those walls. Now we have a stadium with all walls around it. So let's start bottoms up drawing all these staircases. So it's going to be kind of hard trying to figure all this out. Looks like this floor plan is somewhat limited in detail, but we can just deduct that all of these are just slope stairs as they are in a stadium, kind of like this, just that it's smaller. So let's start designing this lower bowl area. The way we're going to do this is we're going to do this by doing big segments. It's like drawing stairs, but it's going to be just like this big chunk in here. And then we'll create a raised floor around it. And then we'll create more areas up high. Luis is not here, but Luis did a really good job in designing this. Maybe I'm going to send him a message and have him share his stadium with me. Hang on 1 second. Did you create one too, Guillermo, by any chance?
Yes, but on Ivy Wave.
Oh, an Ivy Way. Well, it would be nice to see it later. Okay, let's ask him, see if he sends us a copy of it. We'll look at it. Well, that's it. Let's just get going. If we go to, so we're not going to draw any more walls right now. Let's just go straight to sloped floors. So in here is where we decide it goes from 0 feet. Let's just change this to meters now. I guess we could go to account and then preferences and then switch from feet to meters. And then we're going to draw a inclined area. So the way we're going to do it is by doing segments that are the same. So let's start here. And then remember the stairs, we draw first the lower portion of it. So we're going to do 1 click on this corner. Okay. Notice there is an orange line in there. And the other side of that is going to be here. Click. Okay. Then, since I have the lower part drawn, now I'm going to go and draw the upper portion of this arena. I wonder. Yeah, let's just probably do it to this corner up here. Click. And then notice that's a black line, not orange. The orange line, it showed like, okay, show me the lower part of this sloped area and show me the upper part of this area. So if I'm going to come over here, I just draw it to this point. And I have now, if I switch to 3D, drawn a sloped area. Not sloped enough because it shows that it's from 0 to 1.5 meters. I don't know what the height of this thing is, but it seems too low. So that could be what, 5 meters probably? Let's just come up to 5 meters. Now with 5 meters, it looks a little bit more inclined. It's just that once we start adding more stuff around it, it's gonna have. It doesn't seem like much now because we're working on a flat surface.
I think you need to like redefine the area, like mark.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right because I have not. Hang on. I have not selected it. So this is gonna do for the next area we draw. Here, let's just go to the other side and just draw a new one, and then we'll come back and change that one. So if I click here, this is gonna be the lower part. Click. Come on. Come on. Just draw it right here. Click. Come on. Oh, I just did like a drag down area. Here, let me see one thing. I think it drew it in the different direction. But I didn't do it the way that we usually do that. We just draw the low and then the high. Here, let me Control Z out of this guy. Okay. Let's see. Let me go to 2D. Then we're in slope areas. Add a slope area from 0 to 5 meters, lab only. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's just that I'm not going to have the flexibility of going in at an angle. See, this one will draw one that is just, so I'm not like drawing the lower part and then the upper part. I just clicked and I'm dragging the mouse. See this? I guess I could probably do this area. And now if I go to 3D, that's interesting. I didn't know I could do that. See, because this one we drew a lower part and then the upper part, and I think 5 meters is too steep, huh? Maybe it's going to be more like 3 meters. So we have drawn a couple of areas. Let's edit them. If I click the edit tool, and then let's come and select this sloped area, one click, then we can say that the upper part is going to go to, I don't know, 2.5 meters. I think that's about right. Let's find out. So now if I go to 3D, yeah, that's more like it, isn't it? This one seems like too steep. That would be more like this guy, like really big arena. But this one is a smaller one. I think this is going to look better. So let's change this guy then. But see in here, by drawing the lower part and then the upper part, I can have that. Oh, what's the name of that in geometry? That's not a rectangle. That's not a square. That's a parallelo, okay? What do you call that, Johan? Parallelogram? Parallelogram? I don't know how that's called in a...
Yeah, parallelogram.
Parallelogram. So let's then... Well, I think we can edit this guy too. Watch. If we click this end, I can just drag that corner. And then I can also come and grab this dot in here. And I'm going to drag that guy to this corner. So I don't have to draw a new one. There it is. Now, this one we did higher. Let's just change this to, what did we say, 2.5? And tab. Okay, now watch this. It created just a slab, just a flat slope. We need to add stairs to these guys. The way we're going to do that is if we, let me just go back and select this guy. You see, if I click, I'm in the edit tool. If I select it, now whatever changes I make here, adjustments is going to apply to that selection I have. I could also, since I have that guy, I can shift and select this guy. I have both of these guys selected. So whatever changes I apply will affect those two. So I'm going to say draw stairs. And if I go to 3D, now we have stairs. See? We have the stairs for these guys, and we have the stairs for these guys. Yeah, those are stairs, but at the same time, they're just seats, okay? And we can also include crowd. See, if we include crowd, it just adds an attenuation area, but it's an even attenuation area. And it's like, okay, what's the crowd height? It's 1 meter. And what's the crowd attenuation? It says 5 dBs per meter. That seems high, but let's say we can change it to 2. And then is it 1 meter from here to there? So people sitting, or are people standing? So let's say we just have the average, like 1.7 meters. So it just creates a higher attenuation area. Notice that as I start increasing these attenuation areas, the higher point of my stuff gets calculated, and then these walls will grow up. See, let's say the height of this attenuation area is 2.5 meters, eyes on the screen, then the height of the wall is going to go to the highest thing we're creating. So, of course, it's not 2.5. Let's just say, sure, it's 1 meter, people sitting, about 2.5. Or we can just not include crowd. We can change that later or add it later. But for now, we have just added these 2 sloped areas. Okay, let me stop right here. You guys can go ahead, bring in your floor plan, and try to do the scale and a couple of sloped areas. Go ahead, Guillermo.
Yeah. Where do you choose the slope floor made of? The material, like it's like concrete or
Well, you assume it's
metal?
concrete. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a good question, because because in a lot of places there's no cement, it's just metal bleachers. Yeah. It doesn't really matter what it is, because what we look at is the attenuation area, like how many dBs you lose across those. And once we start adding the slab, and I think there is a way. If we go to the building, let's see a line floor. Let me go to 2D. And if we go to align floors, let's add this guy over here. So now we can specify what the attenuation of the floor is. So it's going to use this for the slab. If it's going to be 10 dB or 30 dB or whatever amount of dBs, then here's where you adjust it. Let's just say this is just a 10 dB floor. Then according to what we learned this week, let me go back to slope floors. Then this slab is going to have the attenuation of the floor, okay? Whatever we specified on that building, okay? Now let's draw the next section then. Since I have this selected that way, that from 0 to 2.5 is going to be drawn with stairs, then let's draw the next section. So if I come over here, click, and then click, that's the lower part. And then the upper part is going to go from here, click, to straight line this area, click. So I drew another section in here, okay? And always good idea to go back to 3D and double check and make sure that it indeed is sloped and that it indeed has stairs, okay? Now, remember, to add more stuff and do things, you have to be in 2D. 3D is just to double check and make sure the visualization is good. Now, here's the other thing I learned today, that if I click and drag, see, I can just create a long one. It has to be a rectangle. And then now, See, because if we do it like that, I don't have to draw the low part and then go and select and mark the upper part. I just drag and have a rectangle, okay? But now I have this little gap in here, see? So to fill this in to that corner, what I'm gonna go and do is go to 2D, go back to my edit tool, my arrow. Oh, well, hang on 1 second. Let me hover over. See that the edit box on the upper right corner of this little box has a number 1? So if I want to switch, see, if I'm here in slope floors, notice that to come to this, there is a number 5. So if I click on slope floors, but if I want to switch to edit so that I can select this corner and drag it up, I just press the number 1 on my keyboard and it switches to that edit tool automatically. So edit means if I come and select this corner, I can just extend it and it snaps to that corner over there. And if I select this little corner in here, you have to select the corner because if you don't, watch what happens. If I don't select the corner, it just moves the whole thing. Okay. So now go back to 3D and boom, there it is. Not bad, huh? Okay, let me go back to 2D and now let's draw this segment down here. So if I go, let me switch to the other one, number 5. I pressed 5 on my keyboard. It brings me to the top of these options. I wonder if there's another way to, well, that's good enough. Brings me there. I just select the one I need. So notice that there's a block dot right there. Well, if I click there, it snaps to that corner and then it snaps to that. That's the lower part of this sloped area. And then I go here and snap to that guy, click. Oh, no, wait a minute. Let me Control Z because it didn't quite snap in here. Sometimes you just have to zoom in. Here we go. So that it clicks. And then I'm going to draw the upper part, click, and click. Now I just drew that part of the slope area. Okay. Let me stop for a little bit. You guys can catch up. This one we're going to kind of do together. Let me then finish this area here. And then we'll stop. And if any of you need help or more time or have questions, then we'll do so. Let me then draw this segment. Click, click, and then the upper part is going to be click and click. And then I'm going to draw this area here. Click and click. And sometimes it helps to zoom in, get a better view of this. And then the upper part is going to be from here, click to there when it snaps, click, click. And the very last segment in here is going to be click and it snaps, click, and the upper portion, click and snap, snap right there, click. I'm going to end up with a little thing in here. Let me fill that up with, if I press 1, takes me to the edit. And if I select this corner and bring it over here and then switch to 3D, voila, we have the lower portion of it. Look at how cool is that. Okay. Okay, let's see if Luis has responded. Oh man, I sent a message to my friend and looks like somehow I pressed the microphone button and it's been recording everything I say. Just been typing. Let me delete this stuff. There we go. Okay, he hasn't sent me the file. All right, how is it going, guys? You guys following along? You're just watching the Sunday news. Not paying attention to me. I see how you are. Okay, let's continue. The next portion of it then, well, we could draw the, what do you call that, stopping barriers out here, where you have the glass. Let's draw it around this area. Let's just try with a little bit of the of this segment. Let's go back to walls, okay, and let's edit and clone whatever we have in there, duplicate it, and let's create a how do you call that, stopping barrier, or the just walls, right? What do you call that at the bottom of the rink?
The glass or the wall. Yeah.
The glass. Okay, so let's say low glass. How about low wall? Low wall, and it's not brick. Let's just say this is wood. Is that what it's made of? Wood. It should be like rubber. Those guys are bouncing off of those things all the time, huh? And then let's say this only attenuates like, I don't know, 2 dBs per meter. Let's say the height from the ground for that guy is going to be, what, probably a meter? Like 1 meter. Let's just make that orange. Okay, let's just say save. And let's just draw. Well, let's see if we can draw it all around. How's that? Let's just. So if I start here, let me just zoom in. I want to click. See, now I have that little wall, and I can come like all the way here. Click. And then, I don't know, it's not going to be perfectly circle, but let's see if I click and then click and then click right here. What happened? Click. Let me just escape this guy and come over here. Let's just go to 3D and see how that's looking. Yeah, it's not bad. Now the question is going to be drawing the glass on top of it. Maybe we make this lower. Well, we can change the properties of it later. Click. And if I hold, let's see my command key, it frees up that jump. And then we're going to come over here and click. And then let me get closer. Click, 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 and click, and click. Now I can just probably draw a long one to this corner. Click, click. I don't know. It's not going to be perfectly round corners. And then, oh, it's snapped. Let me control Z out of that guy. It's snapped to the other attenuation area here. So let's move. Let me go to edit. One, and select this corner right there and drag it over here. And let's go back to, so wall is going to be number 4. Now I'm back to that wall and I'm going to snap right there, click, and see it goes there or here. If I hold the command key, it gives me freedom to go and put it wherever I want, like right there. Click, and I'll come all the way up here, click, and then there a little bit, click, and click, and click, and click, and click, and right click. We end that. We go to 3D. Now we drew this all around. Okay, let me go back to 2D. Let's now try to create a new attenuation area. Let's go to options and clone the low wall, duplicate, and we're going to call this just glass. Well, it's not glass, like acrylic, isn't it? Like really strong acrylic barrier. I'm sure there's a name for that. It's just that. Let's say it's not glass or metal, plywood. Is there a plastic option in here? Well, I just say glass so it makes it transparent. Let's leave the same attenuation. And then let's say that that thing starts at 1 meter from the ground and goes up to, how high is those things? Probably 2 meters or higher, probably, huh? 2.5, or there will be
It's 2.6.
hockey pucks flying all over the place.
Yeah, so I'll put the sizes on the chat.
Oh, you put the dimensions? Oh, dasher boards. That's what they're called. Okay, the barrier around a hockey ring is generally called the boards or dasher boards. Okay. The transparent section above them is called protective glass or shielding. So for drawing or RF design, I'll label it hockey rink dasher boards. It's a long name. And protective glass. Let's just call it, what is it called? Shielding. Yeah, I like shielding. How's that? That was good. Just one word, right? Called it shielding glass. And let's say it starts at, oh, and you said the dimensions are there. Oh, yeah. 48 inches, about 3.3 meter, 3.3 feet is about 1 meter. So 1 meter to that component typical height of dasher boards is that. Protective glass is 5 or 6 feet. So from 1.5 to 1.8, so about 2 meters. All right. I was not that off. A pretty good guess for not being a hockey fan. Huh? Any hockey fans in here? Walid, are you in Canada? You a hockey fan?
Canada. I take my daughters to hockey. I don't know
Oh.
anything about hockey.
Well, you take your daughters to hockey. That's good enough. That's more than I do with hockey.
Yeah.
Although my daughter, her boyfriend, he plays hockey. Let's see if I have any hockey stuff in here. And you know, there's a local team in here. I should start going. And they build a hockey rink for the practice of the professional team. And there's a section that they rent for just anybody can just go and rent a pair of skates and then just go in there and, you know, bust your butt and your knees there against the glass. And the ice.
I'm trying to turn them like to be a fan for squash game, so I can play with them something I understand or not.
Uh-huh. Okay, so this glass, let's do from 1 to 2 meters, and let's make it light blue. And let's make it transparent 3D, and let's save this guy. Now, well, I think it's gonna snap. You know, one thing I can do, I wonder if I hide all of the attenuation objects, then it doesn't snap to my area in there. So let's go to attenuation objects. Yeah, because that's let's rename this guy because we can change the properties of this guy. If we go to edit, we can choose the, what do we call it? Low, oh, we had it in low walls. Yeah, I just want to change the name of this guy, but let me just do it in walls in here. Go to edit, and then that low wall thingy. Low wall. It's not called low wall. It's called dasher board. There you go. Let's call it dasher board. That's another thing you have to do when you're doing this type of designs, because when you're showing this to the customer, you don't want to sound like an idiot, like, yeah, you know, that low wall in there. They're gonna be like, what are you talking about? The dasher board, you moron? Like, yeah, the what? You know, you got to learn the language of the places you're going to be working at. So you sound like, people are going to be offended. It's like somebody comes and says like, yeah, you know that router thing, the white box, like, it's not called a router. It's not called a white box. What is it called? We all know it's an AP. So we want to sound also that professional with them, and we have to learn, you know, their language. So the dasher boards are 1 meter. The shielding, see, now it sounds like we know about hockey. The shielding goes from 1 to 2 meters and it's glass. If I come over here to the eye, I can just tell it, don't show me any attenuation of, oh, it doesn't consider those. Oh, the slope floors, I can remove them. Here we go. The reason I remove the slope floors from the visualization is because I was drawing the walls and sometimes it just snaps to whatever closer object there is. So if there's no object right now, hopefully my glass, since I'm going to be drawing it like right on top of this guy, is going to snap to the wall. And it's going to make my job easier of just drawing it like right on top. So let's go back to walls. Let's choose the shielding. Ah, see, sounds more legit, huh? Let's draw the shielding on top of the dasher boards. Should we, Walid? Watch this. So it snaps right there. Click. Oh, yeah, beautiful. And then if we come over here, click. And oh, man, look at that. It's just snapping. Oh, hang on. Let me escape out of this guy. Let me Control C. Let me come over here and then click and click and click and click. Oh, yeah, it's doing something weird here. There's some artifact in here that is just drawing it. Okay, let me Control C. Here we go. Click, click. I think if I zoom in more, it's more accurate with the snapping. So if I come over there, click. Yes.
So is there a way that you can copy the dasher? So and then just change the settings like a window. So instead of the running all around.
Yes, that's a great idea.
So
let's do this
with the select tool.
So let me Control C out of this entire thing I just drew. Okay, let me Control Z. Here we go. And this. Okay. So what you're saying is we have this entire ring. What I'm going to do then is select this entire thing. Okay. I will Control C. I'm going to Control V and paste it without. Let me just move it out here, out of the way. Or, hey, as we learned, I can just put it down here, okay? And then this guy, I'm just gonna come and change it. All I have to do is with all this selected, I can just come and change it to a shielding. Ah, brilliant. Now, let's see if we bring this guy over, and hopefully it snaps right on top. Oh,
yeah, okay, I do all the time. So
let me unselect it. Let me go to 2D because right now I have. Oh, did it replace? Oh, I hadn't specified. No, I did have specified the. Here, let me go to. I think it replaced it. It replaced what I had below. So we'll try it again. Hang on 1 second. Let's go to 3D. Yeah, because all it did is it replaced what I had beneath. Okay, how are we then gonna do this? Oh, I wonder if we draw this then as window. No, because it will then. Let me try one thing. Let me Control C. Now we have this guy in place. What if I create then a window? Maybe it's gonna be on top of that one. Because right now, since I drew it as a wall, it's just as soon as I snapped on top of this guy, it replaced whatever element was there. So I think if I draw it as a window, so let's select this guy. Okay. Select this guy over here. And if I come to edit, and then that shielding, we don't make it glass, we'd make it wood, plaster. Where do I select what this is going to be? Oh, maybe here's what we can do. Well, let's see how windows are constructed. Because what it did is that it replaced those in there. Let me just look at a window here. Just glass. Dynamic transfer frequency, transparent, fill top and bottom. Well, maybe if I select them for shielding, then let's do fill top and bottom. And hopefully it just sits on top of whatever's there without removing it, without replacing it. Let's give that a try. Let's save. And let's try the same exercise again of moving this guy on top of this guy. And if we go to 3D, it replaced the one at the bottom too. Why isn't it? Not keeping the bottom. Here, let me try one thing. Let's just go to 2D. Let's go to walls. Let's draw a dashboard. Click and right click. Okay. Now let's go to 2D and let's go to shielding. And let's just click here, click, and let's just cut it short and click and right click. This works. Let's go to 2D. What if I then click and right click and 3D? When it matches the surface beneath, it replaces it with the whole thing. I don't think that this is expected. Let me make note and let Jerry know about it.
Yeah, because this saves you a lot of time.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess here's one thing we can do. Control C, Control C, Control C. And let me Control C. Okay, we have this now. Let's go to 2D. And let's select this guy. How about we don't put it like right? Well, it's gonna look dorky. But here, let's see if it sucks that it replaces the whole thing. Yeah, it like doubled it. But watch. Why is it creating like, see, it's like adding the bottom of it. Oh, what if I then, hang on one second, why is it? Here, what if I come back and select this guy and move it over here? Oh, it snapped somewhere. And that's probably why it's filling the whole bottom of it.
Is there a way to group objects together?
I don't know. Let's see if by putting this guy close enough there. I don't think there is a way to. Well, I'll tell you what, this is close enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
By accident, we got, I guess if it just snaps to a little bit of the other one, it fills the entire bottom of it. Okay. I guess by accident we got it. I mean, it looks a little bit dorky here, but it's okay. We can survive that, huh? Can we? Okay. Looks decent enough, I guess. Okay. Mission kind of accomplished by accident, but yeah, we'll ask Jerry about it. And then he comes like, oh yeah, you just have to press this key and boom, it just doesn't replace the thing. You know, once you know, when you know, right?
Correct.
Press the W key. That's it.
Press the W key. Here we go. All right.
To get the
questions up to this point. Yeah, get the walrus and have it fix the problem. Okay. Let's do a raised floor. Okay. Raised floors. We're going to draw raised floor. Let me just bring this guy in here and say, like, yeah, show me attenuation objects and show me slope floors. Now we need it because we're going to draw. And there's a trick for this one that I don't remember right now. But we need to draw a raised floor around this whole area. We're going to draw the raised floor. Of course, the height is going to be, what do we say, 2 meters? You know, we should make that 2.5, then this, all of these slope floors. Because here's what's going to happen. Watch this. If I select this entire thing, here it shows walls and slope floors. So I can just click on slope floors. And whatever changes I make, oh, so there are 2.5. Yeah, that's about right. That's like the height of the ceiling. So on the other side is going to be about that, right? Let's just make it right 3 meters. Okay, now all of them should be changed to 3 meters. Here we go. So the raised floors, we're going to draw them out here, surrounding that lower bowl, and then we're going to make him, see, we go to raised floors. I'm going to say that the height is 3 meters. Okay. And that's it. Let's just, I don't remember if you do the outside or the inside, because I'm going to try to draw the whole thing at once. Click. Let's see. Click. Click. And it's going to feel weird because it feels like we're drawing it. Click. Click. But we just, let me see if I remember. There was something here. Click. Click. And then if I come here and then let's say click and click on the outside. Click and come back. Ugh. In this direction. Let's see if this is going to draw. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. The outside of it. Click. I feel like I'm going to screw something up in here. And then click. And then let's come to this corner. Click. And let's probably come over here. Click. And click. And come to this other corner. Right there. Click. And then come over here and click. 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 This corner, click. This corner, click. Uh-oh. I think I did a wrong click in there somewhere because I should have just the light gray area. I think I missed that click out here. Oh man, if I right click, it's gonna draw a slab on top of everything. Crud! Okay, let's see if I can fix this by coming to this corner. Yeah, I don't think there's fixing this, huh? Because I'm selecting there. But if I select this corner, what was the trick with this thing? Because we've done it in the past where you just go, maybe I have to do the outside area first. Here, let me just Control C. That whole thing is gone. Let's just give this a try on a smaller area. If I want to draw, let's say, a slope, a raised floor, let's say here, click, 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 and click, and right click, then it just does that. That's what I need to replicate around all of the edges. So maybe I start with the outside edge then. Let's give it a try again. Not the inside, but the outside. So if I start here, click, click. Let me zoom in so that I get those little corners, then click, and then come over here, click, and let's say here, click, and now there, click, and let's say out here, click, and there, click, and then this corner, click, then this corner, click. Let's come over here, Slightly higher, click, and then click. Then come over here, click. So click, then, oh, come on, click. Ooh. Come on. Then what, how do I then jump into the inside of it? I have to call Jerry, click. No, let's try this, click. Oh, now I'm undoing it. How is this undoing? Click. Am I gonna have to do it per segments? I think we did it all by, we did it in the Spanish speaking class, didn't we, Memo? How did we do it? Give me 1 second. One second. Because we went and draw the outside. How about if then I come the other way? Click. Why is this snapping like to the other side? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Be patient. While I try to figure this out, I'm getting Jerry here. Go ahead. Keep drawing, trying to catch up with where we are. Keep drawing away. Sloped areas. And we can do segments of it, I guess, but I think there is a way to just do the whole thing at once. Okay, let me come back over here. Let me just Control C out of this guy. Control C. Control Z. Control C. Command C. And come on, Pentium 3. Okay, let me refresh and see now the whole thing is going to be gone. I did Command Z a lot of times. Well, I can just select all raised floors and delete them. We go to Edit, select this whole thing, and then just select that and remove slow floors. And all I have is raised floors. And if I just delete them, they're gone. If we go back to 3D, hopefully our walls are still there. Oh, excuse me. Our dasher boards and the shielding is still there, and it is. Okay, so we are back where we were just a few minutes ago. So for raised floors, let's go back to raised floors and see if we can figure this out. And Jerry's going to come in a few minutes, and then he's going to come like, yeah, you just do this, boom, 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 and done. Because we've done it before that you just draw all the way around. but I don't remember how to then go back and do the other edge in one go. We could just do segments, okay? Like if I were to do click there and click here, and then click there, and then click here, and then right click. And if we go to 3D, then now we have drawn the raised floor in there. See? We could do that all along, but it's just going to be a whole bunch of segments. There is a way. I know there is a way because we've done it in the past of just like drawing the whole thing around and then just having like one raised floor. So let me just do the next segment in here. Click and come over here. Click and come over here. Click and come over here. Click and then come over here. I'll just go the way there. Click and then come over here. Click, then click on this corner and click on that corner and click on that corner and right click. See, I just drew a whole big segment, but it's one going around that I haven't remember what it's all about. See, I just drew a whole segment. So let's go over to 2D and then do click, click, and click. Then come over here and click, and click, and click, click, and click, and right click. So I just did another segment. Now let's do this segment over here. Click, click, and I'm sure with this one I can just go.
I think I found a way.
Okay, how do you do it? Hang on one second. Let me finish this one here. Control Z out of this. Then click. Come on. Click. I'm clicking. Why is this not letting me do this portion? Oh yeah, click. And click and right click. Okay. We drew the whole thing there. Morning, Jerry.
Hey guys. Hey Ferney.
Sorry, man, to bother you on your day off.
Looks like Martin's enjoying himself over there.
Yeah, he's out there sailing.
That's awesome. That's the way to do training.
Yeah. So we did it, you know, the figure it out way, but I know we've done like the whole outside in just one go, but the shadows just keep messing me and then like ended up drawing a raised floor over the rink, over the entire thing. What was the trick? Or Walid, you said you figure it out? Because see what I was trying to do, Jerry, is just like do all this in one go. Is it possible, or is it I was thinking wrong that we've done it before doing the whole thing at once, or do we have to do it per segments?
There's a couple of ways you can approach these. It used to be that everything essentially had to be on like the same floor plan, you know, one floor level, and then you create the levels within that one floor.
Yeah,
but
no,
now
and now with that one, but what before you explain that, is this raised floor around it? I was trying to just do it in one click, 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 click all around and coming back and just, but then I had to do it in segments. Is that how you do it in segments?
Yeah, if that's what you're trying to accomplish as a raised floor, I think you would have to
just like at once, because I think in the past we've done it, and it's just that the clicks, I don't remember where I had to click. So I did it in segments. It works out. It gets the job done. But I think there was, I think we did it in the past in a way that you just like click, 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 click all around it, and then came back and then just drew it in one drawing, basically, instead of in a whole bunch of little segments. How do you usually draw these raised floors around? Just segments, kind of like what we did?
Yeah, I think there's multiple ways you can accomplish it. That would be one option. But yeah, I think the more preferred route now that we have this multi-level, view where we can see the entire building in one view with each of the floors. I actually like to slice it up and do per floor. That gives you a little bit more granular control of which level we're viewing at which time. Everything gets kind of mushed together when you try to do this all in one layer, one floor, and create multiple kind of levels within that one floor. So I think now that we have the ability to kind of separate those out, I think that's a cleaner way of doing it, at least I haven't honestly done a lot of it. I've seen some of our pretty impressive customer projects that have done some pretty cool work with some of that. But yeah, I have not created a lot of these kind of
so I would make copies of I'll make copies of this same floor, and then just in one, just make it floor one and just draw a lower bowl, and the second floor make it the next session, and then probably the third floor make it the suites, kind of like in that approach.
Yeah, so you could even just take a floor plan like this and essentially duplicate the floor plan and then crop to, whatever areas that you want to include in there, and then cut out the other areas to say, okay, this is a hole in the floor, for this section, and then just keep the section that you want. And then that would allow you to do what you were saying, where you just, kind of click around the map and cut out the areas that are considered like the hole in the floor versus like the level that you want to keep.
So that way you wouldn't even have to draw the raised floor. It's just going to be part of that floor.
Yes. And then you would just define in the building, this is the height of that floor level, and then obviously stack the floors on top of each other to say this floor is above this floor, below this floor.
So I guess we're going to have a couple of sessions on stadiums. This one today, we're going to just keep going this way, just doing it in one floor and stacking it up. And then the next session, we're going to record the process of, slicing and dicing, and just have multiple floors with holes in the floors. It's probably going to be less work, and it's going to be easier too, because you're just dealing with the lower bowl, one floor. The next one is going to be the second floor, and all of the suites up on top are going to be the third floor. Because in the past, what we've done, let's see if this is the one we created. Yeah, kind of done it in this way. Like that. This is all one floor, and that's what we're going to get. Is, of course, this one's not completed. We have just stairs on one of them, and we did do the raised floors. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it looks like this one we did in segments too. But we have a guy that did all the cutting the holes in the floors in this area, and it looks pretty good. We're going to be doing that later today. And then tomorrow, tomorrow I won't be able to have a session. I'll be flying, but the next session, we're going to do it in multiple levels. So that's what we want to get. So doing it in different floors. That's a great way to do it too. Here's the other thing I wanted to ask you, amigo, and then I'll let you go and enjoy your Sunday. We created the dasher boards down here, see? But then I created another material for shielding. And when I drew it on top of it, it replaced the whole thing. And it made the whole thing glass. So, and then I tried to do the fill on top and bottom, but then it still replaced it. Basically, it's this, watch. If I go to 2D and I go to walls and draw the dasher board, let's say.
And what's the dasher board? Is that just the top or the bottom, or what is that?
That's the bottom. Come on, man. You don't know the hockey language?
We're using sports analogies here. This is not my area of strength.
We're all, I mean, you're from Wisconsin. Don't you have a killer hockey team there?
No, we don't actually. You would think we should, but we do not.
I was calling this the pony wall, and then the glass wall on top of the pony wall. It's okay, let's find out what it's called, because we don't want to, in front of a customer, sound like an idiot. When people come and say like, yeah, your little router, the white modem you put up there, like it's not a modem, it's not a router, it's an AP. So we want things be called how we call them. So it would be nice to figure out what these are called, and that's a dasher board. See, if I come over here, that's what it's called, dasher board.
Good to
Like,
know.
okay.
I learned something. See, this is why I joined these calls. Because of the things that I
Yeah.
learned.
And
I
then
did
the
not know.
top is called shielding or protective glass.
Okay.
So the shielding. So watch. If
Yep.
I draw, because we created, that's just a short wall. See, dasher board is
Yep.
just wood. It's 1 meter high. And then we created also a shielding
Okay.
that goes from 1 to 2 meters, and that will be the top part, and it's
Yeah.
glass. So
And you'd want to
here's what
turn
happened.
off that fill top and bottom.
Well,
on those
I turned it on thinking that was going to fix it.
Yeah,
But here, let me just
that's
go
not
to
what
the. So let me shielding. Let me remove it. This is how we had it. So let me
Yep.
show you. If I draw
Yeah.
the shielding from here, let's say to there, okay.
It's going to replace the underlying. Yeah. So
oh,
undo
wait.
that.
Okay. Well, before it let me draw it. Here, hang on. Oh, no. Watch. Let me Control C. Okay.
Mhm.
If
So
I
do the exact same thing, except for this time.
hang on.
No, you don't want that though. That's going to mess it up more.
No, actually, it won't. Watch. It lets me do
Yeah,
it.
but it'll mess up other things. You don't
Oh,
want
really?
that. Yeah,
What will
well,
it
because
miss?
so filling top and bottom is for like the adjacent like materials like on the sides of it and above it and below it and everything else. So yeah, it works in this case because this is an isolated piece, but you don't want to fill top
watch.
and bottom normally.
If I do this,
Yeah,
that's
it's going
when
to
it
get messy
replaces the whole-
quickly.
Yeah, it got
Yeah.
made. That's when we're like, let's call Jerry because I don't know how to do this.
No,
And-
you're actually only missing one key thing, which is holding a key while you do this.
See,
If you
guys,
hold
I
down,
told you.
yeah,
It's gonna come and say like, yeah, hold the W and then it's fixed.
hold
Okay.
shift. It's shift. Hold shift while you do it.
Okay. So let me Control C.
So do the exact same thing, except for before you put that last left click, when you were doing the drawing of the second material, just hold shift while you do it. And one that disables snapping, but two that disables the swapping of the material, the underlying material.
Okay. So if I hold so I have shielding right now.
Yeah.
Do I
So
hold
left
shift
click.
now?
It doesn't matter. You can hold it now, or I would first not hold it when you do the first click because then it still snaps to that position. But now hold down shift before you put the last click, and that should keep the underlying material.
So I'm holding shift and
and now left click. Yep.
Okay.
And now that should do it.
Now, here's the other thing that we were trying to do. I wonder if that would work. We drew the entire dasher board first. Okay. So I'm gonna start drawing on top of it, and then Guillermo, since he works with IB Wave, so like, why don't you just copy the entire thing again, and then change the material.
Copy and paste it.
So I copied and pasted it on the side, changed the material to be the shielding, and then I came and put it on top, and it is snapped like right perfect on top of it because it is the same a copy paste of
same
that
dimensions.
But then when I let go, the whole thing was glass.
Oh, really? It did still. I've never tried
I-
that. I was curious what would happen.
Yeah.
So it did still replace it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because if you lock it into those positions, it probably still sees it as you're wanting to replace what was there. Because it does try. So what it's trying to do is avoiding doubling things up, right? If it was like a full length, obviously wall, what we're trying to prevent is from the user shooting themselves in the foot of, drawing two drywalls on top of it or a brick wall on top of a drywall or something like that. And then it gets obviously messy in that way too. So
you're going to end up with double attenuation then.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see.
That's essentially what it's trying to avoid you doing. But yes, in these cases, you want to essentially double up those materials because you're not actually doubling it up. It's just a different attenuation or different material on the bottom than it is from the top.
So let's try this. If I do a dasher board here and there and here and right click, okay, let's just do a escape ring. Let's try the same thing. I mean, what we were trying to do is this. If I select this entire thing, Control C, Control V.
Did you teach them about the selection of selecting left to right or right to left?
Yeah, briefly we talked about it this week. I'll bring that up again. So
Okay.
now that I have this guy here selected, if I change that to shielding, why is that all the way to the? Okay, let me.
Is it still set to fill, or what do you have it set to? What's the material set to right now?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So let's remove this.
Yeah, you don't. So the fill is just for like things like a window. Like if you want to embed a window in the wall,
so
like where
yeah,
there's drywall above it, drywall below it, drywall on the sides of it,
So-
that's where you'd want to use that
So
fill.
now let's try to bring this and set it on top of this and see if it works. So if I have, well, it's selected right now. So if I bring it over here and like, see, it snaps right there.
Yeah,
I
so
wonder
that's
if
where
I-
you'd have to hold down shift while you do that. But yeah, then it should work. See how it's disabled those
Yeah.
auto like features when you hold down shift. And then as soon as you let go of shift, it re-enables them. So it's just a temporary
that.
disabling. Beautiful.
That was it. You're a genius, man. You don't have to
I'm
go to
glad-
church.
those ones I can do easily on a early
you don't
Sunday
have to
morning.
You don't have to go to church today, man. You just got forgiveness for all your sins, man, just by helping us with this.
The multi-level space is a little too complex for me to think about this early on a Sunday morning, but yeah, there's definitely multiple options there. I'll see if I can find some example projects too, and maybe see. I know we've got some customers that have just some very immaculate, like stadium arenas and stuff that they've designed in here. I'll see if I can, get approval to maybe show some of those on the class.
Okay.
It's pretty impressive. Like people have drawn, with the catwalks and all that kind of stuff to show like the APs, installed on the catwalk and all the different levels and everything. It's some of these projects get pretty intricate.
Yeah. And once you have the time and then you have the need, you just get creative and, you guys make it easy. We just have to know those, hold the shift key. I told the guy, like, see, we're struggling and fighting, things going all blue. And like, if I call Jerry, I know he's going to come. So like, just hold this key and boom, fix. And it happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my friend,
This is one of those, okay, it's more of a niche thing. This isn't like something you're dealing with typically on like every project in a day-to-day. So it's like, it's kind of buried, but clearly you obviously need this functionality for these types of situations. So yeah, it does exist, but it is a little bit buried. It's not the most intuitive, but yeah, once you deal with one or two of these kind of projects, it should stick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially because we struggle a little bit because we put it on top and it's not perfectly, but then made the whole thing glass. Like, how do we just keep the bottom? If we had known about that, but hey, by accident, I think by accident it just snapped on one little corner, and it looks dorky around here. See that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you zoom in,
Interesting.
I think it snapped on one of the things, and then it kind of like maintained its top and bottom. It was by accident. It was not that we like, oh yeah, we solved the problem. Like, no, by accident, it snapped somewhere. It just looks dorky in some place. But you don't have to get into that level of detail. But this one works perfectly. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, amigo. We'll get going here for a little bit more and enjoy your day. If anything, I'll ping you.
Sounds good. All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
Back at it. Talk to you
Appreciate
later.
it.
Yes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, so back to that makes sense. Okay. Well, good to know. See, if you haven't done the dasher boards and the shielding, then now we know how to do it. But then, Guillermo, thanks for heading us in that direction because it makes sense. You draw the whole bottom part, then copy, paste it on the side, change the material, bring it over, and holding shift before you let it go, it will have done what we just did in the small box. Okay, perfect. So we're going to be doing this again, taking a different approach. Now we're doing just one floor and building on top, building on top, building on top, changing heights of raised floors, changing heights of sloped areas, because the next portion. So far, we have done the rink, the lower bowl, and the raised floor around the lower bowl. Now, what we're going to do is draw this sloped area from here to the next level. Okay, let's do that.
Actually, also, Ferney, like if you would like to do the same approach you were doing before,
Yeah,
yeah. So I think you
you
can
figure
do
out.
that. Yeah, I figured it out.
Okay,
So you can draw the outer areas as well. Okay.
yeah,
And before closing the circle, the entire circle, like do it like just if I can share my screen this time,
yes.
I'm
Make
I'm
sure you
not
don't
sure.
have Outlook or
Yeah.
anything open
Okay.
out there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The right one. Can you see my screen
It's
now?
coming up, coming up, coming up. Yes,
Yeah. Okay. So I started with the outer area. Okay.
the outside.
And
Okay.
going to the outside from right to left, like clockwise. And
Uh-huh.
before completing the circle, like I stopped here, and
Yeah.
from like counterclockwise, I
Oh, it just came the other way.
the other way, but I
Ah,
didn't close the circle. You can see that I didn't
yes,
close
yes,
the
yes.
circle. Yeah. So let's do that, and voila.
And if you zoom in, oh yes. Ah, okay. Yes, beautiful.
Okay.
And then you
So
can just grab, you can go in and grab those little corners and bring them in,
yeah, you can like
just to
edit.
make it,
Yeah.
Okay. So you do the outside and then come back around
But I
counterclockwise.
didn't close. I didn't make a full circle of the outside.
Yeah.
Like I stopped right before it, like, and
So and you did it at an angle. You can also do it straight then, and then just come back the other way around, and then just make it. Okay, perfect. I think that's how we did it before, because I knew we did it in just one go. I mean, doing segments works too. Evidently, we got it done, but there are always multiple ways to skin a pig. Isn't that what they say? Okay, let's draw the next portion then. Let me minimize this guy. Let's draw the next set of sloped floors. Let's
Ferney,
go to,
but are you gonna break it so into levels, or are you gonna design it on the
today
same
we're
level?
gonna be doing one level.
Okay.
So we're gonna do another session doing it the other approach, that we get the same floor plan, duplicate it and duplicate it again, and then start cutting, holding the floor for the second one and holding the floor for the third one, and then slicing and dicing. Okay, so this is the first approach, just doing one level, one floor, and then building on top of each other. So now if we're gonna do slope floors, we're gonna do slope floors for this area. So before we start drawing, here's what we're gonna do then. We're gonna tell it that these slope floors are gonna go not from 0 meters, because then it's gonna start from the ground up. Is gonna be from, this is at 3 meters. So we're gonna say that lower part starts at 3 meters. And then the upper part, let's say it goes to 6 meters. Okay, let's just make it 3 meters high. Slab only, and let's draw stairs. That's it. So let's give it a try. Let's start over here. Click and click. And then, let's probably come to this corner, because we're going to be drawing the suites later. Hang on. So if I hold the command key, I'll be able to click right there. See, now I'm on my black line, which the black line is going to bring me all the way. Let me zoom in and make sure I have it right there. So now if I go to 3D, I just added a slope floor that the first one was here. Then we did a raised floor, and then we drew the next slope floor. That makes sense? So now I'm going to have to do the same thing around it. If you want, you can just go ahead and do yours as I go with this click, click, and then from here, it's going to be a corner click, and all the way to here, click. There we go. Now let's do the next one, which is, yeah.
We can do that in one shot by holding a, what is that? Command key and clicking with the orange line around the arena, and then move to the top in the same way, holding
Oh,
the
really? Doing the whole thing around?
yeah, instead
Oh,
of draw.
instead of doing it
I
per
don't know. I'm just
segment.
asking. I'm
Oh,
just
you're
asking.
asking. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm sure it's possible. Hey, let's give it a try. Let me just finish this segment in here. Click.
But you have the slow cut in the area.
And then click. Oh, how's this going to look? Yeah, let's give it a try. Okay, let me do 3D on this guy. Okay, so far so good. Let's just try what Johan just asked and see if it works. Let's see if I click and then hold command. Let's say click and, oh, it doesn't. As soon as I click again, the orange part goes away. So now it's just waiting for the black part. That would be cool, huh? If we could do that. I'm sure Jerry's going to say like, oh yeah, I just have to hold the letter P on it. Let me see if, then for the upper portion, and we're not going to be perfectionist here. So let's try to click like right there. This is going to be the upper part. Then just bring it here. There we go. And then the next one is going to be from here to there, click. And then from here to there, click. There we go. Okay, so now we look at 3D. We have also drawn the upper bowl, wherever there is an upper bowl. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think we're going to have to draw also an upper bowl in here. Unless this suits. Yeah, this is upper bowl too. So let's just draw one from here, there. And then from here, there. Just make sure we'll go back to 3D. Have an upper bowl there. That looks steep. I guess it just looks like that because there's nothing around it, but. All right, now we have those guys. Or did I? Yeah, that should work. Now we can draw the suites on top. Now we're gonna have to do a raised floor in this area. So let's switch from slope to raised floor. And this new raised floor is gonna go at 3 meters. And then now we're gonna take the Walid approach. Of course, this one, let's see if we go from here, click, 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 all the way here. Click. Come on. Click. Here we go. And then let's come all the way here. Click. Click and click. And click. And click and click. Then go counterclockwise and then click and click and click and here click and click, then here click, 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 click. I know, not the most exciting thing to watch somebody else do all the clicks. Click. Let's come over here. Click. 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 And tomorrow or the next session that we do, since we're going to be using multiple floors, we will not have to draw all of these things because the floor is just going to be part of that, and then click and then right click. Here we go. That way, right,
You said
Walid?
you are traveling tomorrow, right? Or did I miss that?
What was that?
There will be a session tomorrow, or are you traveling tomorrow?
We don't have, yeah, I'll be traveling tomorrow. I'm going to
Yes, so
Reno to a
there will be a
warehouse.
session tomorrow. Yeah, okay.
No session tomorrow, correct.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not at 3 meters, it's at 6 meters. Okay, so let's go back to 2D. Yeah, because we already, the 3 meter one was this one in here. That one is going to be on top. So let's go to the edit tool and then this lab, this raised floor, let's put it at 6 meters. Let's go back to 3D. There we go. That's more like it, huh? Okay, beautiful. Now what we're going to do then is draw these suites in here. For that one, we're going to have to draw walls, and here's how we're going to do that. Let's go to the walls section. And then we're going to have to create, this is why what Jerry was describing, and we're going to do in the next session, doing it in multiple levels is easier, because now I have to specify the beginning and end of those walls. Since we're working in one floor, it's not going to be from the ground up. It's going to be from 6 meters. That's where it starts. And it goes, let's say, to 9 meters. So we're going to make those walls 3 meters high or 8.5. So watch. If I select brick, let's just draw in brick walls. If I go to edit, let's just select brick and clone it, duplicate it. And let's call this suites. And they are brick, and let's say, but this is just only 5 dB. And if we don't specify any of this, save, let's just make it this color. Watch what happens. If I don't specify the height, and I draw a wall here from there, click, right click, and let's go to 3D, it's just gonna draw a tiny little wall down here from the ground up. Like, no, we're not at ground level. That thing is, oh, you know what we should have done is also draw the slab under this guy, but it doesn't matter. It's going to look kind of like, oh yeah, you know what? We're probably going to have to draw floor here too. But watch this. If I change the property of that suite wall that we just did, that starts at 6 meters, okay? And then the height of it is going to be, sure, why not? 3 meters high. So it goes to 9 meters. Let's save it. And if we go to 3D, now that suite is going to be up here. Okay. But yeah, you know what? Let's draw a floor on this guy, because now that's going to be like a hole right there. So let me do this. Let me grab this wall, move it out of the way. And then I don't think I have to draw a new one. Let me grab this corner of the slab and bring it here. And let's grab this corner of this guy and bring it there. So if I go to 3D, here we go. That has floor 2. We're going to have to do the same thing actually in this whole area. Let's just bring this guy. Let's grab this guy and bring it over here. And this guy, bring it over here. I'm just filling up these areas. Here we go. And then the same thing for these suites. I'm just going to bring this guy. So if I bring it over here, and if I bring this guy over there, and this guy not there. Oh, let me Control C. Let me grab this little corner there and bring it here. And this guy over there, and this guy can get over here, and this guy over there, and this guy over here. All right, so what we did is just resize the floor that we drew before. Now that should have all floor all around. Looks like there's a section out there that needs attention. We'll worry about that later. Okay, now let's go back to bring in this wall, because we're going to draw the rest of this suite. So let's just do just that brick wall back there, and let's just use drywall. Just come and do, well, let's actually take that suite and then just duplicate it. And let's just say you are going to be suites drywall. Same characteristic. Oh, did I duplicate it? Yes. So it's going to be suites drywall. It's going to be the same height from 6 to 9. And let's just use a different color. Let's use this color to differentiate it. And then let's start drawing from here. Click. Hang on. Let me go to walls. And let's use that suites drywall. And then we're going to go from here. Click. Click. Let's come all the way here. Click and right click. And then there's a lot of click, right click, click. I mean, I could just copy paste, but it's going to probably take as long. Click, right 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 click, and holy smokes, how many more there are? Click, right click, and click, right click. There we go, last one here, last, come on, and right click. Okay. We can do the same thing here real quick. Actually, we can just copy paste this guy, watch. If I go to edit and select this in here, and Control C, Control V. Now we can just bring this whole guy over there. And what we do then with the edit tool, just come and, I don't know, click outside, grab this little corner and bring it in there. There we go. That's faster, huh? Okay, I'm not going to draw these guys in here. I'm just going to leave it in there. But it's going to look weird because I did not draw any windows or anything. Now, why would those suites be on this side? You guys are not going to see anything. I wonder if these are different levels. Huh. Well, unless those are suites that are not for games, just for like rental property, or I don't know, maybe these are lower than those guys. Oh, this is 211. Those are 311. Yeah, they're like on top of each other, huh? So maybe these ones we're going to have to raise later, put another raised floor. Create new area. Well, let's just worry about this one for now. Let me actually do this. Let's copy these guys. And let's get them out of there because we're going to have to raise them, put them higher later. So let's worry about these guys. If I need to now draw windows. Of course, we need windows. How that suite gonna have like no windows? Let's draw some windows on this thing. We come to walls. Let's select one of these windows. Let's go to edit. Let's duplicate it. And now let's just say window suite. Well, let's just call it suite window so they're all like in the same place. Glass, attenuation 4, and then since the wall goes from 6 to 9, let's say this guy goes from 6.5 to 8.5. How's that?
Yeah.
Fill, top and bottom. Let's make it light blue. Save. Let's see if this is going to work. If we click here, click, and right click. If I 3D this guy, that looks more like it, but I think we can still make that window bigger, huh? That's usually glass all along.
Exactly. Yeah, usually it's all glass or it's open.
It's glass or it's open, that's right. So let's go to 2D. Let's select this material, edit it. And let's say that anything suite window is actually from 6.1, at least 10 centimeters down low, and it goes to 8.8. Or we can just make that glass walls and draw all the glass walls around. We can do this window like this, and the next ones we're gonna do as just glass walls, okay, and see a difference. So if but there's gonna be segments. Let me go to 2D, and let's select the glass wall. Let's just select a new one. So let's just say this is suite glass. And let's make this from 6 to 9. Of course, we could have just drawn the whole thing, but here's what we're gonna do. To leave at least the size, let's say from there to here and 3D. Oh, I think it changed the previous one. Did I have that selected too? Or didn't I duplicate it? I thought I duplicated it. Let's Control Z. Control C.
Did you click shift? So then hold it or something?
No, I did not. Because we have, oh, switch glass. Didn't we have like a switch window? Maybe I didn't duplicate it. Maybe I just modify the properties of that one. So that's the glass. Let's clone it and let's do the suite. Let's duplicate it. That's what I forgot to do. I just modify whatever I had. So suite window, let's just go back to what we had. And this one was from 6.2 or 6.1 to 8.8. Just leave it like that. So this would be the windows. That's the difference, okay? So if we click from here to there and right click and 3D, so it's filling up top and bottom. The next one then, we're not gonna use the suite windows, we're gonna use suite glass, has different properties, and then let's say we do it from here to there, right click and 3D. So to show you the differences, okay? So one has a little filler at the bottom, little filler on the top. This one just goes bottom top. I think this one's more realistic, huh? And if you're gonna get fancy, just like add, sliding doors in there. Then now, once you have this one, you can just draw. I wonder if we can just copy paste this guy. It's just you're gonna have to line them up. And if I select this guy and do Control C, Control V, then yeah, I'm gonna have to just go and drop it over there and snap it. I think it's faster. Let me see if it actually replaced that unit in there. Yeah, it's just better, not copy paste, because you have to snap it like right on top. Let's Control Z and Control Z, and let's just draw those suite glass real quick. The one thing we can do, of course, escape that guy, and then here and there, and
or you might change all the wall except the separations between the suites, so it will be all.
The thing is, yes, I can change this, but then I'm not gonna have these dividers. It's just gonna be all glass all along. So
yeah,
you can do that. It's just that, when we're showing this to a client, you want this to look as real life as possible, so they can compare it. Because they're gonna come and correct you, like, no, Walid, that's not glass, that's brick right there. You did that wrong. So you kind of like make it look how it is in real life. Because see, if I do what you just described, it's gonna look like this. And maybe that's how it looks in real life. If that's how it looks, sure. You just have the walls in between. Okay.
Yeah.
But if they have it like this, or if they have it like that, then sure. Yeah. I'm just showing you the 3 different ways to do it. This is easier. And if that's how it is in real life, good. Or if it's open, see, as Guillermo was saying, then you don't draw anything. You just draw the walls from one side to the other. Okay. These guys, we're gonna have to put them up higher. And then I guess we're gonna have to draw another slab in here. another raised floor. So we're getting to the end of this session. But before we do that, let's do this. Let's select these walls. Let's actually come and create a new one. Let's call suites. That's what, the fourth floor now, huh? Fourth level. Oh, I gotta duplicate it, huh? I duplicated this thing. Yeah, let me just create a new one. Let's duplicate whatever I have there. And let's call this suites 4 level. Let's make it drywall. In my drywall, it's not drywall here. Okay, let's make it then plywood. Let's make it wood. Let's make this guy then, it's gonna go from 9 to 12. Let's leave it the same color. Let's save. Then all these guys, we're gonna make that suites 4 level. So now if we look at this on 3D, that guy is higher. Now we just come and draw to make it easy. We're gonna have to create, let's just select this guy, edit, clone that, and let's just say suite 4 level glass. And it's gonna be glass, and it goes from 9 to 12. Let's make it blue. And we're gonna make draw. Oh, here, let's just go back to walls and draw from here all the way there. And then, oh, gotta make it transparent in 3D, huh? So it looks, wait, it should have, make this 2D, go to edit, transparent 3D, the suite 4 glass. Let's go back again, right click, and 3D. There we go. All right, now we're gonna move that guy later, but first, just to finish here, we're gonna draw. So how are we gonna draw this guy? Oh yeah, because we're gonna have to draw this floor, this slab, then it's gonna have to be higher. How's this gonna work? Oh yeah, no. This one's gonna have to be higher. So let's go to raised floor. And then this new raised floor we're gonna draw is not at 6 meters, it's gonna be at 9 meters. Yeah, I can see why this is gonna be much more work than what if we have multiple floors. So click, 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 click. Yeah, let's zoom in here. Click, click, click. Oh no, we gotta do it everywhere for this area. Okay, let's just Control Z that click, Control Z this click. So we're just gonna draw this entire click. And yeah, click, right click. Here we go. Because this one then is gonna be that raised slab back there. And now we can bring this whole set of suites selected. So what Jerry was telling us about the left to right is this. Watch. If I hold, well, if I select from here there, okay, notice the blue shadow. I'm coming all the way here, but it still only selected this area, okay? If I click here and drag the other way, notice that as my shadow touches that segment, it selects the whole segment. Let me show that again. Eyes on the screen. If I click here and drag it right, see, I'm touching all of these walls, but only the one that is completely covered by the blue shadow is selected. See? Nothing is selected. Now, if I let go, nothing is selected. Once I cover the entire segment of whatever I have selected, boom. See, now that I cover both ends of that segment, it's selected. But then the next segments are not until I, boom, cover the entire segment. Does that make sense? If I select, if I do a multiple selection, not left to right, but right to left, watch, as soon as I touch something, it selects the whole segment. See, as soon as I touch something, the whole thing is selected. Left to right, right to left makes a huge difference. Okay. So now, if I select this guy, I can just drag it and put it right there. If I go to 3D, voila, look at that. I wonder if this guy, yeah, that should probably work, I guess. Although I'm missing something here. I guess this walking area, well, not necessarily. Let's see how this would look. Oh, that's like right on top of the other guy, huh? I just don't have a wall here. Or I could raise this slab to put it up there. And this will be the back of this. All right, well, you get the point. At this moment, I think it's a good stopping point because now we have covered. Of course, there's other things that you can just go crazy and start designing the underneath of this, drawing the concessions areas, see, putting all the walking space, the bathrooms, all that stuff under, and then you can start drawing people and the cops and everybody. Right now, we're just focusing on learning how to use the tool to do this type of stuff. Now, here is the one thing that I guess we should do before closing the session. These areas are not stairs. This is just open. Those areas, oh, where did my pictures go? Let me open my pictures things. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the tunnel access.
There's the tunnels, yes. So let's just come over here. See, those are open spaces where people go in and out. So how do we do this? We're going to draw or cut a hole in the floor. Let's give it a try in one of them. So I think this is how Luis did it. Let me just come over here, floor holes, and let's just do click, 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 click. I was not completely perfect, but click, click, and right click. I just got a hole in the floor. Let's go to 3D and see how that looks. Here we go. That sounds about right. I think here's the other thing we can do. I go to edit. I select that. Of course, I can make it better because, you know, here we go. And man, I'm sloppy. There we go. Put it there. Let's make this guy, you know, more precise over here and more precise over there. And let's just bring this a little bit further and a little bit there. There we go. Well, this one's kind of like crooked anyway. Let's just bring this guy over here. And I'm just getting too into the details. But here's what I can do. With this guy selected, I can just Control C, Control V. Come on, where did it? Let me select it again. If I select this guy, Control C, Control V, and then I can just replicate that guy over here. Of course, that's not the same size, but is it? I can just resize it, but or move it a little bit. No, it is the same size. You just have to move it again. And then, of course, I cannot rotate him. I would have to draw a new one here, and maybe I draw one in there. And let's just do it right now. Why not? While we're at it, huh? Floor holes. So if I cut one real quick right there, and here, and there, and here, and there, and here, and there, and here, and there, there. And right click, go to edit, select it, Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V if you have a Mac. Then just put it right there. Now, since I have multiple ones, I could also hold the Shift key, select this other guy with both selected, Control C, Control V. Now I have two, and I can just put two at a time, and of course they don't match. And we can just grab this guy and move it around a little bit, put it like right there. And then with you selected, Control C, Control V, and you get the picture. Now, if I go to 3D, start looking more like it, huh? And it even lets me go see through and stuff. All right, you can just play with it. You have the tool, you have the license, you have the knowledge. Later today, you're gonna have the video. If you wanna say, oh man, how did he do that? Let's just go back and do it. Then, Walid, go ahead. Yeah, Walid, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I have a question for you after we stop the recording. So
Oh,
when
sure,
you
yeah. I'll stay a little bit longer. Hey, let's draw on how tall is the goal, Guillermo? Might as well make it right, man, because this thing is like missing something. It's missing the goals. Get the dimensions of that
It's
thing.
like a 4 feet, something like that.
4 feet. Okay, let's do a 4 feet. Let's just go to walls, or we can actually do attenuation area, but we could just let's just create a new one. Let's duplicate whatever we have in here, and then this is going to be goal vertical. And then let's say this is going to be, I don't know, just make it brick so that it looks red or has a color. And then this guy is going to go from 0 to, let's say this is just,
yeah.
Well, just say,
4 feet
meters?
high
So
and 6 feet wide.
Okay, so it's gonna, let's then change this to feet. Okay. So this new area, gold vertical brick, goes from 0 to 4 feet high. Let's make it this color. And let's change this to cardboard. Doesn't really matter. And then let's save this guy. Oh, did we create wall or attenuation area? Where am I? I just create an attenuation object instead. Because that way we just create the two things, verticals, and then do the other one. So let's go duplicate this guy. And let's do go vertical. It's going to be like column, basically. Little column. And then it's going to be 4 feet high. And then let's make it purple. Okay, so let's just draw one in here. And let's copy. Let's zoom in and select the whole thing. Control C, Control V. Where did it put it? And then select it. Control C, Control V. Where did I put it? I put it over here. Let's zoom in, grab it from the middle, put it over there. Just put it.
And don't forget the mesh.
Oh man, you're getting, yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out for that one. Okay, now we're gonna do, oh, let's put it on the inside. There you go, right there. Now let's do the vertical one. And see that what happens when they give you tools that can do stuff. So let's duplicate that guy and let's call this horizontal. And then this guy is gonna go from 4 feet to 4 point, I don't know, 3. And then we're just gonna draw one from here. Let's say from here. Oh, not you. I don't want to do that. I want to draw an attenuating object, the goal horizontal, and we're going to draw it from here all the way there. And then we put it in 3D. Boom, here we go. There you have, that looks more like an entry to a palace, but there you have it. Okay. Back to 2D. Of course, we need 2 goals. We can just go to edit, select this guy, Control C, Control V. Then we're going to grab it and move it over to the other goal line. There we go. All right. With this, my friends, I think we have taught you enough so you can play, so you can go in and start drawing slopes with stairs, raised floors, cut holes in the floors, do different heights, the suites, different materials, different layouts. This is great. We have another way we're going to do this again. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to grab the floor plan and start making copies of it, floor 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then on each floor, we're going to draw what belongs to that floor, and the rest, we're going to cut it as a hole in the floor. And we will just do the the building, which is going to be way easier than this. I think we struggle somewhat today, but it's okay. That's how we learn, and that's how we show what's possible. And some things by accident we did. Jerry showed us that if you hold the shift key before you draw a material on top of a material, it's not going to snap on it and replace it. It's just going to be on top of it. As we were designing the dasher boards and the shielding of, we sound like we know about hockey, huh, Walid? Look at that. We learned even new words today, new language, new definitions. So with this, my friends, we get to the end of session 371 of Tesos in Wi-Fi. Today is Sunday, August 9, 2026. It's 8:13 a.m. here where I am. You're watching this later. You're going to have to follow along. If you don't have the floor plans or a license, you're going to have to come to a live session. Sorry, we're not going to post this online and have just people don't come. A lot of people here woke up early. Some others stay up late. I know it's your Sunday, it's your day off, and you're making time to be here. Thank you very much. You know it, free love, everybody, and free Wi-Fi training to everyone. So let me stop the recording. Walid, I'll be with you in a second. You guys have a great rest of the day.